All right. So we're talking about business and the environment. Okay. So starting off, what's the thing we need to ask? What is law? Law consists of enforceable rules governing relationships among individuals and between individuals and their society. All right. So what is the law? In the words of Sly, I am the law. Yeah. But seriously, if there was no speed limit, how fast would you go on the loop? Yeah, you'd probably go as fast as you wanted to until you crashed and died. All right, so law is that relationship that we have. The government says, hey, the speed limit on the loop is 55 or 65, depending on where you are. And as such, the relationship we have with that is that we're going to obey it. If we don't, Leonardo's going to pull us over in his car. Okay? Now, jurisprudence is the part of the study of law, involves learning about different schools of jurisprudential thought and discovering how the approaches to law characteristics of each school can affect judicial decision making. Yeah, that's a mouthful. But look at this. There's, I think, 4 different jurisprudential thoughts when it comes to law. Okay, and this is very philosophical and whatnot. But we have the natural law. Denotes a system of moral and ethical principles that are inherent in human nature and that people can discover through the use of their natural intelligence or reason. All right, so this is from Aristotle. All right, and Aristotle says, natural law applies universally in all humankind. Sure, natural law. What do we know? We shouldn't kill anyone, right? So, as ugly as Whiplash is, do you really think we need to kill him? No, that's natural law. We know not to kill him. Okay? But the positive school, positive law, or national law, this is written law of any society at a particular point in time. Alright, so the positive school, or the positive law, or national law in the United States right this second is murder is the intentional killing of another human being with malice aforethought. Now, we know the natural law says we shouldn't kill anyway, but the positive school or positive law, the national law, is going to be, hey, don't commit murder. Okay? The positive school, there's no such thing as natural rights. So this is sort of in contrast to what Aristotle was saying. Rather, human rights exist solely because of laws. And who makes the laws? Well, the people make the laws. If the laws are not enforced, anarchy will result. So if Leonardo isn't out there pulling you over when you're doing 100 miles an hour on the loop, there's no law. Okay? Thus, whether a law is bad or good is irrelevant. All right? What matters is the manner through which a legitimate law becomes law. What's the process of making law? Okay? So this is just saying, hey, we as a society, we make laws in an effort to protect people, to protect society. Historical school. This emphasizes the evolutionary process of law by concentrating on the origin and history of the legal system. Folks, if you study law long enough, you'll learn that, hey, it's all history anyway. Right? How did we decide things in the past? And as such, how can we learn from the past to make laws today? And then legal realism. Based on the idea that law is just one of many institutions in society, and that it is shaped by social forces and needs. Sociological school views laws as a tool for promoting justice in society. Sure. Folks, American law is what we call a living law. It's constantly evolving. Okay? It's always growing. It's always changing. All right? But there's a really good concept summary on page 4 that will give you the real meaning behind these 4 terms. But let's continue. Business activities in the legal environment. Many different laws may affect a single business transaction. Sure, so you're out there committing business, most of you are business students. So within business, there are laws. What are the legal requirements of a contract? Offer, acceptance, consideration, lawful purpose, and capacity. You had to take all that into consideration when thinking about contracts. Are there different requirements for service contracts and contracts? contracts for the sale of goods. Pardon me. Well, certainly. Now, UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, generally applies to contracts for the sale of goods, whereas service contracts, deal with common law for the most part. Here's a question: what happens if one party breaches a contract? Right? You and I enter into a contract, a purchase and sale. Oh, I don't know. He-Man figures. Okay? Yes, this is a real He-Man figure. Now, if I breach, what's your remedy? Okay? What if we have a disagreement about the contract? How do we resolve those disputes? Those are all questions you have to ask yourself in the business world. Also, you have to think about ethics. Right? Ethics is the study of what constitutes right or wrong behavior. What is right? What is wrong? What is proper? Those are ethical questions.